Provide Ukraine with information about all Ukrainian men under the age of 60 who are in Poland.
Here is a letter allegedly received from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Poland, discovered by the Polish Government Security Center. It says that information about Ukrainian citizens supposedly should help the armed forces of Ukraine mobilize them to participate in the war with Russia. But the letter is fake, the Center for Countering Disinformation under the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine reported. This disinformation appeared on February 3, 2022, on the website of the Russian news agency, and in June it was repeated on the Telegram channel of collaborators from the self-proclaimed Donetsk People's Republic.
Thus, the enemy is trying to obtain personal information about Ukrainians abroad for further information and psychological operations designed to reduce the level of trust in Ukraine as a whole. Therefore, we ask you to check the suspicious documents published on social networks and use only the official websites of the Ukrainian state authorities. Center for Counteracting Disinformation under the National Security and Defense Council of Ukraine on Telegram.
The Kremlin's propaganda machine generates fake news regularly. Earlier, disinformation was spread on social networks that supposedly the Polish authorities, at the request of Kyiv, would deport Ukrainians who by age could be mobilized, and also that Poland will forcibly send Ukrainian men who arrived in the country to military training camps.
The campaign has been going on for 2 weeks now. These fakes are aimed primarily at tension, primarily within the political situation in Ukraine in the context of the war, in the context of inciting hatred and aggression against the country's leadership against our partners. All this is happening in the context of the campaign that is taking place in Russia to discredit the strength and capabilities of the Ukrainian army to contain the influx of mobilized, to contain the influx of the Russian army in the occupied territories.
All fake videos, articles about Ukraine are a reflection of life in Russia itself, experts say. Gathering information about Russians who have left, trapping men on the streets, at home, in transport and at work, threats and the use of force against potential mobilized, numerous examples of illegal mobilization of the sick, unfit for service and large families. All this is the usual methods of the Kremlin regime. So the fresh fake of Russian propaganda are also addressed, first of all, to its citizens.
This is part of the mobilization campaign which should testify that Ukraine is so bad with the reserve that it is already gathering all Ukrainians from Western countries in order to throw them into this war and continue this confrontation, which indicates the success of the war for the Russian army and thus allows you to remove the fear that is formed in Russian society before death in the war.
But what about the facts? Ukrainians who left the territory of the country need to register for military service. This is the truth. The corresponding decree was adopted by the Cabinet of Ministers of Ukraine on December 30, 2022. This document was published on January 3, 2023. To remind, the fake letter to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Poland appeared 11 months earlier. Diplomatic departments will keep records of Ukrainians liable for military service who left Ukraine after February 24, 2022. And the very procedure for military registration of Ukrainians who have gone abroad should be developed within 6 months. Reported by Roman Smoler, Yulia Granovska, UATV News.